Of our top stories. Suspected Boko Haram terrorists killed 3 students of Faudia School in Gaidam local government area of Yobe State. Women from Kapam community protest alleged toxic chemical discharge at Kaduna refinery. Outside Nigeria, 4 dead as Russia attacked eastern Ukrainian city of Kharkiv, leaving 28 others injured. And in sports, Bruno Labbadia makes U-turn on Super Eagles coaching job. And turning our attention now to Adamawa State, where victims of recent flooding are now getting assistance from the state government. Governor Maro Fitiri flagged off the distribution of food and non-food items to victims in Madagali local government area of the state. Senior reporter Wolabi Adelusi filed in this report.
Last Friday, over 10,000 people were displaced in 13 communities of Madagali local government area by flood, with about 6 others confirmed dead. After the devastation, those victims now find it difficult to survive. But all hope is not lost as the state government is here with relief materials to cushion the effect of the disaster. And as the state government is distributing food and non-food items, this federal lawmaker representing the zone at the National Assembly is supporting the victims with cash and other necessities.
We call this as an emergency relief. Well, we look forward for a better support from the federal government. The state government has come earlier with a lot of relief for the people. We are going to push forward for the federal government to come to our aid, because you can see the bridge is so damaged and the flood. Over 1,000 houses are down. Over 2,000 households are displaced.
For now, the cry for help from these victims is to the Northeast Development Commission and other good-spirited Nigerians.
My house is demolished. My goats, some were off. My foodstuff gone.
In this our village, there are many people that are looking for homes they don't have, and lives, children are dying. If you go to some other places like Shua, they don't even have houses to stay. Their food, their crops are gone. Waters have taken their crops away.
The district head of Shua, Mustafa Sanusi, thanked the member for bringing succor to the affected persons, describing the flood disaster as unfortunate.
We have received our beloved member. He came with some relief too. And we have some individuals that came with relief too. We are calling on the federal government and the world to please come to our aid, because this is a total devastation. We lost everything. We lost our economic life and everything. So we are now in emergency. We want them to, especially the government, the federal government, to intervene on recovery and stabilization.
The state government says it has reached out to the flood victims in the 4 affected local governments where farmland and other valuable materials were destroyed.
In Taraba State, Governor Kefas is appealing to the federal government to come to his aid by fixing the 2 federal bridges connecting the central senatorial districts of the state to other parts of the country. Senior reporter Wolabi Adelusi filed in this report.
45-year-old Mayo Kham Bridge along the Jalingo-Bali Highway has partially caved in due to a heavy downpour barely 2 days after the Jalingo-Wukari Highway bridge was destroyed. Days after the water receded, the Bali local government chairman mobilized the locals to the scene to create an alternative road for motorists. Now he's calling on the federal government to help in fixing the bridge.
I came in the night and saw this place. The bridge was caught. Since that night, I called the community and the council representing this ward to organize and apply the same method that we did in Kungana for the past 3 years.
Some residents and motorists have this to say.
The rain started at around 11 in the night till daybreak. We now experience that our bridge from Mayo Kham here collapsed. Some of our drivers nearly died on the process of trying to pass around the bridge.
To gashi dai hanya ya riga ya kwabe yau wurin sati daya ba mu samu muka samu hanya ba sai yau aka zo aka sa dutse aka samu muna wushewa tukunna.
The directors of the State and Federal Ministry of Works who visited the scene shared their views with TVC News.
There is urgent need for the federal government to intervene in this situation. His Excellency has taken proactive measures. He has contacted the Army headquarters for a floating bridge.
Certainly the federal government has something in place. They capture it every year. They make provision for unforeseen situation like this, emergencies of collapse of bridges and culverts.
The collapsed Kham Bridge is about 85 kilometers of the state capital, connecting Sardauna and other 5 local government areas of the state.
The chairman of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Nabike Dabiru-Erewa, is advocating policies that would allow for equal opportunities to advance the career of women in the military, gender-responsive budgeting, and allocation of financial resources to support gender integration initiatives. She identified these methods as ways to engender inclusiveness in Nigeria's military. Mayo Thomas reports.
24 Defense Headquarters Annual Gender Conference in Abuja. The chairman of the Nigerians and Diaspora Commission says one of her desires is to start seeing female defense attachés at the Nigerian missions abroad. Speaking further on the impact of gender on conflict and security, she says female inclusion is not for equality and equity alone, but for strategic national security.
So as we navigate the complexities of modern security challenges, the inclusion of diverse perspectives will be crucial in crafting responses that are not only effective but also sustainable within our national security architecture.
Our goal is to create a military that reflects the diversity of our nations, where every officer and serving, file and rank, has an equal opportunity to serve and contribute regardless of gender. We must work together to address the barriers and biases that have historically limited women's participation.
Gender gap in the military as of 2012 was about 13.6%. Female enrollment started increasing, and as of 2019 was 15.3%. With favorable policy and Nigeria's commitment to Resolution 1325, female participation reached an all-time high at 27.9% as of November 2023. This feat is part of the focus of this year's annual Gender Conference commemoration.
It is said that to whom much is given, much is expected. It is therefore my hope that having been so honored today, you will continue to uphold the highest level of discipline, ethics, standards, and professionalism. Therefore, it is important that you be role models in order to motivate other young women to join the force.
The military leadership was encouraged to eliminate all barriers that work against women and limit their potentials. Mayo Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's turn to health matters. Health experts say there is a need for an improvement in engagement with communities, HIV prevention and treatment services, as well as sustainable funding to improve health outcomes for key population. This formed discussions at a report dissemination meeting held in Abuja. TVC's Kemi Balogo reports.
Strengthening HIV and AIDS response strategies remains the goal to achieve epidemic control by 2030. Key population members and their sexual partners account for 54% of the new HIV infections globally. This dissemination meeting between experts in the HIV response is simply to discuss the challenges and successes faced in the implementation of HIV programs tailored specifically to vulnerable groups and key population.
And this gives us an opportunity to reflect on the experiences of those that are directly affected by the various programs that we've put in place. And this feedback is quite invaluable in gaining a comprehensive understanding of the HIV response.
Globally and in Nigeria, there's a lot of investment, especially now with the Global Fund. It started as a small pilot project with funding from UNAIDS. but now it's good to see it's gone national with a lot of funding, so it will be good to see what the results are.
Data collected across 18 states where programs are being implemented, representing nearly half of Nigeria's region, was used to evaluate the effectiveness of HIV prevention and care strategies for key populations in the country.
Even though there is small population, there is small percentage of the general population, but they are at the highest risk of contracting HIV and of the HIV epidemic. So we definitely need to, have programs and intervention in place.
Some of the key findings reveal that, one, the country has to do more in terms of training health personnel who provide services for key population. The country has to do more in terms of funding and financing key population programs, especially the component of domestic funding, the input from our own government into programs for the KPs.
HIV is a problem for everybody, and youths are